You're listening to Community Connection here on KGMI. I'm Crystal King, and I have a full house today with me. Typically, we have Ziad Youssef with mytrafficman.net, but he's brought along his team.
That's right. I brought with me Jim Turner, our senior trial strategist. I brought Todd Anderson, our chief associate, and I brought with me Sean McKee, who handles a lot of our college students, and he's with the McKee Law Firm, but he's a My Traffic Man affiliate.
Jim Turner, welcome.
Yes. One thing I really like practicing with Ziad. Ziad is sort of the manager of the firm, and he has a honeyed tongue with the prosecutor. And I always joke with people that his style is to drown the prosecutors in a big vat of honey until they finally come up gasping with being sort of sweetened to death to say, okay, here's your deal.
Why work with Ziad instead of working independently? You do both.
I do. Most criminal lawyers, I think the primary model you'll see out there is just one lawyer in his own firm. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of reason for that is because there's not a lot of need for secretarial support like in a civil firm, so some of the benefits of joining together don't really apply to criminal lawyers. But I used to joke with Ziad that when he hires people and involves himself with people, he's got enough of an ego and is confident enough to hire people that are smarter than him. But, I sold encyclopedias when I was a young man, and I was about on the sale, and I would just sort of give in because I didn't really believe in what I was selling. And to be honest with you, what I love about being in this group is I really believe in what I'm selling in terms of a practice. We talk about everything among each other. Everyone has their own perspective, their own set of experiences, their own set of skills. So we really give a very thorough approach to every case that we handle.
Well, it's kind of like a crossfire then, isn't it?
Oh, can you imagine the debate between all of us?
I think it'd be
each one of us?
Just getting you guys in the studio was interesting enough.
And I'm pretty much the big stick. If Ziad and Todd and Sean's negotiations don't work, I'm the one who's responsible for the trials and for getting ready for trial.
Okay.
And Sean's with the McKee Law Firm.
I like to focus on college kids. This is a college town. I was a Western student. I know the kind of trouble that they're getting into, and it's been nice to be able to give something back to that community. It can be a confusing, difficult process to be charged with a criminal charge. Mm-hmm. So to be able to help students through that, they're in a time in their life where they're trying to graduate and get a career, and things like a criminal record can really hold somebody up at that stage in their life. So trying to get them through this with no criminal record and give them a helping hand through it has been great. Sometimes I've been able to go up to Western and give some talks and give my advice. It's really a good community to stay a part of.
Now, Sean, why be a part of this foursome?
It's good to have a team working on things. Mm-hmm. If a case comes in, I have other people I can bounce ideas off of and my thoughts on the legal process and legal issues. And I can run it by Todd, I can run it by Jim or Ziad, and we can come up with new ideas. Sometimes somebody will point out something that I missed or give me a new, fresh perspective on things. And having the team and not having to go it alone is really helpful. I mean, not only to me as a lawyer, but especially to our clients.
Do you think that's typical with any law firm or lawyer that maybe they get a little too focused and that it helps to have a broader vision?
I think it does a lot. I mean, with any type of job, you can start to get in a rut and it can start to get a little monotonous with the way you approach things. And having a fresh set of eyes to look at a case can be very helpful. It can put you into a new direction with a case or give you a fresh idea, and it can be very beneficial.
And I wanted to interject there, too, because just the other day, Todd and I were sitting side by side in the courtroom handling a big calendar, and I had gotten myself into a little jam with a commitment that we had made that I didn't realize wasn't fulfilled yet. So I had to brainstorm pretty quickly, think on my feet, and come up with a solution. And while I was doing that, Todd, who you guys haven't met yet, but Todd leans in and says to me, here's the solution.
Oh,
and
wow.
It was wonderful. It was just a perfect timing solution, walked through, everything went as planned, and it just took a new set of eyes, like Sean was saying earlier. So that's an obvious benefit to having a team effort here, because sometimes you do get jammed up, and it's nice to have someone backing you up that can put an extra set of ideas into the project.
Okay, now let's meet Todd Anderson, as Chief Associate.
Good morning. Yes, Todd Anderson, Chief Associate with Law Office of Ziad Youssef. I've worked for Ziad for about 3.5 years now. Like the guys were saying, it's a unique experience to have so many people around and to have different ideas and different philosophies. Jim and Sean coming from a public defender background, so that's a little bit different from what Ziad comes from, which is private defense. I started off doing prosecution work for the county and the city here, and then went to private defense. So we all have a different idea of how to approach a case and how to look at certain things. And so when you get that and you get to have all those different ideas and philosophies and approaches, you get a much better resolution to the cases that we work with.
Now, I'm assuming all of you don't always get along.
For the most part, it's actually not too bad.
It really is, and you would think we'd be at our throats a lot more often, just because we like to argue so much. But it's not about arguing; it's about logically thinking through a case and analyzing the issues in the case. I just wanted to add, because Todd brought it up, it is a different perspective from the prosecution end than it is from perhaps the public defender end. But Jim brings with him 23 years of experience, plus at trial levels that include murder trials, that include serious violent offenses, and he sits down and looks at a case. He can think through the highlights of a trial so much faster than someone who hasn't been through that many trials. And he's got that kind of experience that we turn to when we need it. Todd, on the other hand, when we're sitting down, he's got these legal issues. He's got a legal mind that is amazing. He can sit down and tear through the legal issues of a case and then analyze it from a prosecutor's perspective and from private defense counsel. So he and I actually get into it the most, because he comes into me and says, he gives it to me as a prosecutor and I give it to him as a defense counsel, and it's just a great debate.
On the reality check, basically.
That's right. He calls it the reality check.
And Ziad brings the honey, right?
Usually.
I like to say I like to say I'm the goal setter. I'm the one that comes in, sets some goals for us, and the team really helps put it all together.
I had mentioned this before. It's almost like the doctors all get together and deal with, what's the best way to work with somebody. I can't imagine a better thing for a client coming to you, especially if it's a college student that doesn't know what to do, and all of a sudden you have these four minds with all this experience from one side to another side to be there to support you.
It's true, and we like to assign one person as the lead to go with the client to court. But when we're in the office and we're meeting with the client, it's not uncommon that the client's sitting with 3 or 4 of us at the same time, asking questions that get responded to from the highest trial level to the basic factual level of the case.
Now, how did everybody get involved with you, Ziad?
Ziad has the kind of charisma that draws people to him. I mean, it really is interesting. I've been practicing a lot longer than him. I mean, he's been practicing quite a while, but the strength of his business and how fast it's grown, and the smiles that I see in people's faces when they see Ziad, or people drop by just to say hi to Ziad, and then when they have no business with the law firm.
Well, Jim, do you think it might have something to do with his hair?
Well, it is nice. I'm envious of it.
It has a life of its own. Right?
One thing people, I think, they feel like they've walked into a bear den, because we're all big, sort of lumbering guys, and we joke that we bring over 1,000 pounds of legal acumen to tip the scales of justice in your favor.
Very good. That sounds like a marketing scheme.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's us.
Until we go at
1,000
diets.
pounds of legal acumen, tipping the scales of justice.
All right. Well, let's talk about mytrafficman.net to wrap it up.
MyTrafficMan.net is a website where you can go to learn all you need to know about traffic law. You can get a hold of us through the website, or you can call us directly at 360-734-0908.
Excellent. Again, thank you, Todd Anderson, Chief Associate, for being with us.
Thank you.
And Sean McKee Law Firm.
Thank you very much.
And also Jim Turner, a Senior Trial Strategist.
Thank you.
Thanks, Crystal.
Thanks so much for being with us again. This is Crystal King with KGMI. For Community Connection, stay with us. We have lots more coming up.
Did you just get a speeding ticket or a DUI? Or have you been injured in a car accident? My Traffic Man, your answer to traffic violations in Western Washington. Visit us online at mytrafficman.net.